Well, the second episode of DUNE Prophecy continues on with two wolves. Yeah, wonder what that could mean. Well, it continues on with its sort of akin to castle intrigue plot. We revealed there's a rebellion underway. There's the mysterious Desmond who apparently had this experience with the sandworm and now has these strange powers. And of course, Valia ultimately confronts him and doesn't know what to make of this as he's able to resist her powers. And all of this, of course, points to the power of the spice, which is later, results in Paul in, the more popular story overall. That's, been the subject of the movies and everything. And yet this is, 10,000 years before that? So everything is still in place by the time you get to Paul Atreides and whatnot, but the groundwork, of course, was there, and the sisterhood had been manipulating everything all along. And here is this threat, but how does it all play out, and who will be left standing is really the only question. The sisterhood will survive to continue on manipulating and running things. But the elements can be explored here somewhat. But ultimately, it was like when you kind of know the main outcome, it's like, well, but the performances are pretty good. And it's interesting, the confrontations that they have here and that, but it's very, very slow. And so you think, oh boy, a science fiction story. And it's not Star Wars, it's not Star Trek. It is this sort of dark castle intrigue soap opera, and it's hard to judge overall. This is one that's going to have to be judged on its complete run, and just on the two episodes, unless especially if you're a hardcore Dune fan, I imagine this is very important to you. I'm on the periphery of that, and I'm intrigued by it, but overall it's not. It would have to be way more than this to win me over completely. But it's almost kind of like Andor, where it's not really a Star Wars thing, but it is in that universe. But still, the production quality and whatnot, was impressive, and there's a certain intellect to it, and it might be the case here as well. So you have Desmond's story that he was swallowed by a sandworm, and he had this epiphany and was changed, and based on the powers he's clearly presenting, well, you have to believe the story is more than likely true, and this beckons things to come, but little do they know it'll be 10,000 years before you get there and all that. But what have you. So the rebellion, which is the sort of thing you would expect, I don't expect it to be successful, but then again, maybe, I don't know, maybe a new family takes over the emperor's chair or what have you. I don't know, because I haven't read the books and all that. And there's a lot of years to go in between and all that sort of thing. So we'll see how this plays out. Intriguing somewhat, but ultimately, I don't know that this has what it takes to win people over. You're 2 episodes in. It needs to pick up steam, because you only have 6 episodes in total, I think. And so it's going to have to... But there's things afoot here. There's, of course... Avalia took over the sisterhood through murder, and you're not going to be able to keep that secret, especially when they do this procedure of which one of the girls can, through their DNA, are able to contact their past ancestors and whatnot. Sure. But that's what she does, and of course she's seen the murder, but now it looks as if she's perhaps going to be possessed by one of her, past, I guess it was her mother outright, the one that Valia killed, and boy, that's going to create a problem, isn't it? She appears to have died in the procedure, but with all that, I suspect she hasn't. But it would be interesting if that's a means by which that happens. The past spirit lives again in the body of her daughter or granddaughter. So, but it's a means by which she wants revenge for what they did to her. And ultimately, I think Valia's a villain, she's like, I'm doing this for the sisterhood, and justifies everything she's doing. But no, I don't think so. So, there's that. But then ultimately, the sisterhood came across as villains in the Paul Atreides story. So, who wins here? I'm guessing Valia wins overall. Maybe. But that's really the only mystery, at least to me. If you read the books, then unless they're going to change that overall too, which I wouldn't recommend they do. But, we'll see how it plays out. So, intrigued. And that's the best I can do for the moment.